Well, hi there. I'm Paul Olguin. Welcome to Lesson 1 of Discovering the Songwriter Within. My hope is that wherever you are on your journey as a songwriter, you will find these lessons helpful in moving you forward on your path. So let's get the first big question out of the way. Are songwriters born, or can someone learn to be a songwriter? Opinions on this vary. Now, it may be true that certain human qualities might make it easier for someone to learn to write good or even great songs, like being a good storyteller or having strong verbal skills. But I believe that songwriting is like any other craft. You study, you practice, and then you write. You learn to make stronger connections between your heart, your mind, your ear, and your pen. It does help to have some passion for it, since the payoffs, especially at the beginning, can be minimal. And there's so much to learn. In the beginning, you're very likely to write a whole bunch of songs that you won't even like very much. But if you really want to learn and you're willing to put in the time and effort to build your skills, I believe that anyone can learn to write good and maybe even great songs. Now, some of you may know me, and hopefully some of you don't. So here's a bit of background that might help explain why I've decided to create this course. Well, I've been singing my whole life, but when I was 14, I discovered barbershop harmony and SPEBSQSA, now known as the Barbershop Harmony Society. Then, at some point in my late teens, my brain just delivered me a song idea. So I sat down at the piano and worked it out. Now, years later, I did come to realize that even though it had some promising aspects to it, it wasn't really a very good song at all. So, for the next several years, songs seemed to trickle out at a rate of about one per year. Then in 1987, the Barbershop Harmony Society announced that it was holding a 50th anniversary songwriting contest. Well, long story short, I wrote and submitted what was my fifth song, a song called I Was Born 70 Years Too Late. And I won the grand prize. Over the years, I studied songwriting for a week each summer with the great Dr. Val Hicks at Harmony College. And thanks to his guidance and encouragement, my songs kept getting better. Then in 1988, my quartet, Special Feature, was formed. Throughout the 90s, we performed and recorded many of my original songs. The songs played a big part in helping us finish several times in the top 10 in international competition, including a 5th place finish in 1993. Then in 2009, I was invited to teach songwriting at Harmony University, which I have done most years through 2019. At this point, I've written about 50 songs. And the story I now tell myself about my abilities as a songwriter is that I can pretty much write a song about anything, in any style, under pretty much any circumstances. So even before I could start this project, I had to ask myself, why am I doing this? Well, I determined it wasn't for money, fame, attention, YouTube subscriptions, comments, or even likes. Now, even though there's a lot of excellent resources out there in the world for songwriting, there isn't one that's focused on writing the kinds of songs ideally suited for barbershop ensembles. So I wanted to share as much as I could of what I've learned about songwriting so that anyone deciding to write original songs for barbershop ensembles in the future might come upon these lessons and find them helpful. So, what might you hope to learn from the following course? Well, my hope is that if you're willing to put in the time and effort, you will become a writer of wonderful songs. I plan to cover every conceivable aspect of songwriting, including those I haven't even considered so far. In each lesson, I'll cover one specific aspect of songwriting. Along the way, we'll talk about the nuts and bolts of songwriting. Occasionally, I'll wax philosophical. We'll delve into the songwriting process, which can be unique for every songwriter. We'll also explore some of the many ways you can share your songs with the world. I'll include a lot of links to relevant resources for your further study. Each lesson will both build on the previous lesson, but also stand alone as a chapter in a sort of songwriting encyclopedia. Each lesson will end with an assignment to help you build your skills in the area covered. With each assignment, feel free to share your results in the comments or simply document them privately for your own use. So, here's your assignment for Lesson 1, should you choose to do it. All right, there's 2 parts. Here's part 1. In a paragraph or 2, write about where you are on your journey as a songwriter. Here are a few questions to get you started. What is the story you tell yourself about your relationship to songwriting? What story would you like to be able to tell? What actions could you take to begin to live your new story? Okay, here's part 2. List 3 of your favorite songs, then list at least 3 things about each song that makes it one of your favorites. That's it. Hey, thanks so much for joining me on this journey. I welcome your kind and critical feedback. See you next time.